Niyati will be speaking for the motion and Jaikrit will be speaking for opposition. You guys can
No,
start.
no, I wanna speak for the motion.
I mean, until we get more participants, you both are the only ones. So for now, let's keep it opposition. If more people join in, you can go for the motion.
Oh, okay.
You can start your prep time. It will be till 8:10.
Hey, Chair, who is for and who is against the topic?
Niyati will be speaking for the motion and Jaikrit will be speaking opposition.
Okay.
The prep time over?
You still have 5 minutes to go. If you guys are ready, I don't mind starting it now.
I'm ready. You can ask Jacob.
Jayakrit.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, guys, please turn on your cameras.
Do we need to turn on our cameras?
Yes, you guys need to.
Can we not turn on our cameras, please?
It's mandatory for the participants to turn on the cameras while debating.
Could you explain the format?
It's okay. You guys can just go 1v1 opening speeches, and you guys can cross
No,
question each other.
yeah, so no rebuttal speech, right?
No.
Alright.
Okay.
Also, what is the time limit for the debate or for the speech? Sorry.
At a maximum 2 minutes.
Oh, so maximum is 2 minutes. Alright. Could
It's
you increase
okay,
it to like
Sorry?
3 minutes? Maybe it's two. Could you like increase it to maybe 3 minutes?
All right, you can go with 3. I'm fine with it.
Alright.
There's one more person joining in, so I guess we'll have to give them prep time as well. But you
Alright.
guys can continue debating. Meanwhile, they can. Hello, Ayush. Uh, please turn on your mic and camera as well. Ayush, can you turn on your camera and speak? Oh, all right, you can. Sure. So, Jagrit, can you turn on your camera now? All right, we'll start. Who wants to go first?
I think proposition goes.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm the proposition. So is it okay if I go first?
Sure, you can start.
Alright, so good evening, everyone. I stand firmly in favor of the motion that for using video assistant referees in all major sports. I'll be starting my speech in the backward count of 3, 2, and 1. Imagine training for years, giving everything you have on the field, and seeing your victory stolen by a referee's honest mistake. In the world of modern sports, where careers, dreams, and national pride are on the line, can we afford to leave such decisions to chance? Today, I stand firmly in favor of the motion that video assisted referees, which is VAR, should be used in all major sports. Let us begin by understanding what a VAR is. A VAR refers to a video assistant referee, which are technology enabled officials who help review and correct key decisions in a game, such as goals, fouls, and penalties. It is not about replacing human referees, it is about supporting them in making the right calls. At its core, sports is about fairness, integrity, justice, and sportsmanship. When a referee makes a wrong call, it is not just a technical error, it is a moral failing against the spirit of fair play. With VARs, we have the power to correct these errors. So, shouldn't we use it? Let me give you an example. In the 2010 FIFA World Cup, England scored a clear goal against Germany. The ball crossed the line and everybody saw it, except for the referee. The mistake changed the course of the match. But with VAR, such injustice is preventable. Justice, I believe, in sports especially, is not optional, it is essential. Secondly, VAR helps in building transparency and accountability. When fans and players see decisions being reviewed on screen, it fosters trust. There is less room for accusations or bias or corruption. In the Premier League, fans watch VAR decisions live in stadiums. This openness strengthens the credibility of the sport. And more than that, VR discourages unethical behavior. when players know that they're being watched by multiple VARs or even a single VAR, they are less likely to cheat or commit violent fouls. Isn't that the kind of sportsmanship we should actually encourage in major sports? Take cricket's decision review system for an example. It has dramatically reduced false umpire decisions and improved discipline among players. Even tennis uses Hawkeye to resolve line calls. They're all successful applications of VAR systems that make sports more just, more ethical, and more enjoyable for all. Now, some may argue that VAR disrupts the flow of the game. Yes, reviews might take a few seconds, but isn't it worth pausing to make sure that the game is fair? What is worse, a short delay or a lifetime of regret over a wrongly awarded penalty, which can actually lead to a wrongly awarded? Others say that subjectivity still exists in VARs, which is true. But isn't some help better than no help at all? Technology isn't perfect, but it brings us closer to the truth. And what about poorer countries or leagues that cannot afford VAR? That is a matter of funding and policy, not a fault of the VARs themselves. It is not a reason to deny fairness to the sports that can afford it right now. We don't reject seatbelts in luxury cars because cheaper ones don't have them. We progress when we can work towards universal access. Let us not fear progress. Let us embrace it for the good of the game, for the integrity of competition, and above all, for the spirit of fairness. Thank you.
Thank you, Niyati. Jaggeet can start.
Today, I pose the notion that VAR or video assistant referee must be applied to every top sport. First of all, VAR was created to reduce mistakes, but let's be honest, it has made games slower and more confusing. Fans are left waiting for minutes just to see if a goal counts. That excitement, that magic moment when your team scores, it's gone because we're waiting for the screen to decide. Also, all sports are not equal. What is suited for football might not be suited for cricket, basketball, or tennis. Each sport has its own rhythm and flow. Putting VAR everywhere could just disrupt that. And let's not forget, VAR is not infallible. It still relies on human discretion. Sometimes, even after seeing numerous replays, the call remains contentious. So, what's the point if it still generates arguments? For example, in the Champions League round of 16, it was Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid, one of the greatest matchups in the history of football. As you might have heard, the Julian Alvarez penalty controversy. It was not a double touch, and therefore it was still cancelled. Because why? Because VAR because Real Madrid is a corrupt club somewhat. So and Florentino Perez most likely bribed the VAR. So it was not counted. Lastly, smaller nations or teams cannot afford advanced VAR systems. Having it as a requirement for all major sports will only generate inequality among rich and poor teams. Therefore, all the technology is helpful, I think VAR must not be imposed in all major sports. Let's preserve the essence and pace of the game. Therefore, I rest my argument.
Okay, thank you, Jaggeet. Please give me a minute. I'll just go through your speeches and give you the. Do you guys want a verdict?
Or do we have a question and answer round first?
Yes, you can ask each other questions.
Who's supposed to go first?
You can go first. It's fine.
Alright, so you mentioned a point about how it reduces the tension, like if there's a high point of tension and it takes away the thrill of the game. So, would you prefer a thrilling but unfair outcome over a fair but slightly delayed one?
No, it depends. But then once your team scores, okay, they score, the fans erupt. But then suddenly the referee says VAR penalty. Won't that and it takes a few seconds also. And it'll just disrupt the thrill of the stadium. The atmosphere will be gone.
So you're suggesting that we allow referees to make errors just to keep the game exciting?
Somewhat, yeah, because you watch football just to like make it as exciting. You don't like go on it like on your life or something like that.
So, in your previous answer, you mentioned that it'll take a few seconds, and the fans will for the fans who are supporting the team which has scored a point or a goal, they'll be happy. But what if you were in the opposite team? What if the team you're not supporting has scored a goal or a point, and you feel it was uncalled for, and they have not actually gotten that goal or that point? So, wouldn't you support VARs in that particular situation?
No, because VAR they're sometimes corrupt. So the richer team can like the VAR is like they're sided to the richer team, and the poorer team can like easily.
VAR is like the VAR is not inherently corrupt, but are you like are we talking about is the VAR corrupt, or are the way the people are using VAR is corrupt?
No, the way people are using is corrupt because
Yeah, so
without human
inherently VAR is
discretion.
not corrupt. So that disproves your whole
Yeah, but
argument that VAR
without
is
human
corrupt.
discretion, you can't decide if it's a goal or not.
So
So you
if we
need
have
humans.
Yeah, so if you have a goal, so example, okay, fine, let's take an example. So if there is a game happening, there's a goal, and the referee says that I want a video replay of that particular goal because I'm not sure what happened there. So would it be corruption if the referee just said that, okay, that team got the goal, even though he's not sure internally? Wouldn't that also be corruption to like some extent?
Yeah, obviously it's corruption. Yeah,
So if that is
that
also
it's
corruption,
some.
if VAR is also corruption, what would you suggest as an
No, no,
alternative?
no. See, it's not like that because video assistant referees they're the one who like give the information, and the main referee he only sees the video, but then the video assistant referees they give the details of it. So yeah, even
And
VAR
also,
is included into it.
yeah, and also when we talk about VARs, if there is a video replay, isn't the video broadcasted to the whole audience who is watching that match?
No, it's not.
It
It's only
usually is.
broadcast. That's in cricket. That's in cricket. In all the major other sports, it's not. It's only visible to the referee.
Alright, do you have any POIs?
No.
All right, guys, since you're done cross questioning, I wanted to ask Niyati a question for your speech. Like, as you were in favor of VAR, uh, can you like provide evidence that VAR ruins the flow of the game more than the wrong decisions ruin it?
So, alright, yeah, so my opposition mentioned that if we use VARs, it can ruin the flow and reduce the thrill and excitement of the game. But if we look at it from a different perspective, for example, let me give you an example, basically. Let me paint a picture. So, if there is a match happening between two teams, imagine it's a football match, all right? So, what happens is that one team scores a point. So, the referee is not sure what player kicked the ball. Just a second. Yeah, so the referee is not sure which a player from which team kicked the ball. So would it be better if there was a VAR replay and the referee as well as the people could actually see who kicked the ball, or would it just or would it be better would it be better if there is a a video replay of the whole thing and it reduces the thrill and excitement, or would it be better that the whole goal changes the whole uh if the game was in favor of one team, and would it be better if that game flips sides and it becomes in favor of the other team because they scored that particular goal which helped them to win, and therefore if we don't use VAR in such a situation, then that outcome of the game could change, and which could the outcome of the game can change completely, and it could be unfair or biased because there was no VAR and one team scored a point which they were not supposed to win. Does that answer your question?
Can I object? Can I
Yeah, sure.
object?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, there are sideline referees who see if the ball who kicked the ball, and VAR is like a last resort. There are countless referees on the pitch who like analyze before using the VAR, and there are countless rules also which they look into without before using the VAR. They won't just
So,
they won't
alright, I
just
got
like
your point.
casually go. Yeah.
Yeah, I got your point. So, even if there are referees, why have they kept VAR as the last resort? Why do they even have VAR in the first place if you already have so many referees and guidelines and rules already? They have kept VAR because it is reliable, because it is like it shows what's happening transparently. It can hold players accountable. So if there is a match happening, a football match, let's take football as an example because it's like the easiest sport, I guess,
Yeah.
because like people. So there is a player who is surrounded by players of multiple teams. So there's a lot of chaos happening because the ball is there. Ball is with one player. So if
Yeah.
that particular player is very near to the goal and there are other people crowding around him, would the referee who is standing on the sidelines be able to actually properly see who has kicked the ball when there are like multiple players crowding around each other and there's complete and utter chaos? Or would it
Yeah.
be better to rely on like a video camera or a VAR who can actually see what's happening from multiple different angles and actually give you a proper report of who kicked the ball and like, how and why when they did it?
No. If there are multiple players kicking the ball, and it's like pretty easy to spot also. If the opponent player kicked the ball into the sidelines, it's pretty easy to spot who kicked it. So yeah.
No, but if there are multiple players like crowded around each other and they're like kicking and pushing, even though that's like unfair, but still, if they're like, is there is chaos and they're all crowded around the ball, how would
If there's kicking and pushing, then advantage would have been played. But if there's still more kicking and pushing, then it would have either been a penalty or a free kick.
No, I was just okay. So if there are like multiple players all around and they're all trying to kick the ball either to like the goal which they're closer to or the goal which is at the opposite end of the field. So if the player who is supposed to kick the ball into the team which is supposed to kick the ball into the goal which is closer, if all the players, majority of the attackers would be there because they're supposed to score a goal. But if the defenders from the other team are also trying to defend the ball from like prevent it from getting into the goal, wouldn't there be a lot of chaos happening if it's like a very important point of the game, like the point which can like decide the whole outcome of the game, like the final point?
Wait, I didn't get your point. What? Can you repeat yourself?
So if there are two teams, all right, so one team is trying to get the ball into the goal, which is closer to them. The other team,
Yeah.
the other team is defending that particular goal. And that is
Okay.
a point of the game where that if like the score is like 3-all or something. So that point could actually decide the outcome of the game, who wins, who loses. So if that is such
Yeah.
an important point, wouldn't majority of the players be trying to either attack the ball to the nearest goal or like defend it from getting into their goal? So wouldn't it like be there would be a lot of chaos because they're all like trying to prevent the ball from going into the goal, they're trying to push it into goal. If there are even referees at the sidelines, they won't be able to see everything properly because majority of the players are crowded around that one little ball. So you can't actually see who kicked it because there's so much of chaos.
All right,
But
guys.
wait.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but this discussion is going more into a football game rather than a major sport in general. So if you guys want to ask questions, you can please keep it in the form of a general sport. Just don't go into a specific sport, okay?
I don't have any more questions.
Okay. Jagrit,
Yeah,
do you
I don't
have
have
any?
more.
All right. So
No.
I guess I'll ask Jagrit a question for his speech. Since you were against VAR, and all right, if you guys were talking about football, so I'll just ask a question for football itself. Has VAR completely eliminated wrong decisions in sports in football, according to you, Jagrit?
No. No, it has not. There has been a lot. There has been like a lot more controversies on the VAR because more like wrong decisions have been made, and VAR is like somewhat corrupt now because while playing against one team on another. Yeah. So I don't think it has improved. I don't think it has improved at all. Improved the game or anything.
Okay.
May I add to it, Chair?
Yes, sure.
So you mentioned again that VAR is kind of corrupt. Is it the VAR that is corrupt, or is it how the people are using the VAR is corrupt? And would you give an example of how it is corrupt and how it has been used in wrong ways?
Yes, as I've mentioned in my speech, the Champions League group stages round of six. No, I mean round of 16. The Madrid derby. The Julian Alvarez's penalty wasn't double touches. You can clearly see that Courtois, the Real Madrid goalkeeper, while he was goalkeeping for the penalty, didn't he said that it wasn't a double touch, while all the other defenders said no, it was a double touch, and they convinced the referee to do that. And when he went to the VAR, the VAR people also told it was a double touch. So, what's your verdict on that?
So that isn't corruption of VAR, that is proper use because it helped to settle a debate between the players if it was a double touch or not. Isn't that like efficient use of the VAR? That's not corruption, that is efficient use.
No, but then the player himself told that it wasn't a double touch. But then
what about
all
the
the
what about the video replay? What about the other players, the more number of players who were against him? What about the verdict of the referee in general?
the verdict of the referee was a double touch, so therefore they cancelled the penalty. But then it wasn't a double touch. You can clearly see that it wasn't a double touch.
But what about the VAR? What was the verdict of the VAR then?
The VAR was right. It wasn't a double touch at all. But then the way people used it was wrong. That's
Yes,
why
the VAR is not corrupt. The way people use it is corrupt. So the VAR is not.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
without human discretion, you can't use VAR.
So this isn't basically a fault of the VAR. This is the fault of the people. So we should have like less corrupt and better people.
No, it's called video assistant referee for a reason. There are
Yeah,
referees.
so it was the fault of a referee, not the video recording equipment or the technology. We're arguing about the technology here, not the referee.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not stating that the VAR is wrong. I'm saying that sometimes the people who use it are corrupt. And without people, the VAR can't be used. It's basically
All right, I
useless
get your
without.
point. Okay.
Okay, guys, since this meeting would end in mostly 7 minutes, we'll just stop with POIs. Do you guys want to hear a verdict?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
And also, do you guys want feedbacks? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So just give me a minute, I'll get back with it.
Where can we talk amongst ourselves till then?
Yes, sure.
Alright, great debate. I haven't watched the match that you were referring to at all, so I was just going with whatever I thought was right.
Oh
I
God.
don't really watch like major
You
sports,
shouldn't
maybe a
have
little bit of
said it.
cricket here and there.
You shouldn't have said it when Chair is here. I mean, she might just
What? Repeat. I
deduct the
can't hear.
points.
I can't hear you.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, now you are.
Yeah. You shouldn't have said in front of the chair. She might just deduct the
It's
points.
all right. I mean, I haven't watched the match. That wasn't the point of the debate. I was not supposed to like prepare and watch like 10 matches before I came to this debate. I mean, I do watch matches, but not like football in general.
It was a great debate, guys.
Why didn't you participate today?
I mean, I just had some another work simultaneously, so I
Yeah,
just
makes sense. I was doing my math homework simultaneously.
you're in which like board? CBSE.
Cambridge IGCSE, ninth
Oh
grade.
my God, I
It's
just
not that
nice.
hard. I feel like people have made it hard for no reason. Like people have said that it's hard, and other people who are not in that same would believe that it's hard. It's not that hard.
You have French or what? Spanish.
We had French from 5th grade to 8th grade, and then in ninth grade you had a choice if you want to take French or Hindi.
Guys, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. Should we just join a new link if you guys want to continue talking more? Because this is about to end in
Yeah,
5
sure.
minutes. Okay, so I'll just end this meeting and send a new link in the group. You
Alright,
guys can
great.
join in there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. Sorry for the delay. We can't generate a new link in Zoom immediately. So it took a lot of time. I'll just start with the first feedbacks, then I'll give the verdict. Can you guys keep your cameras on? Okay. Uh, so first I'll start with the Niyati. Obviously, I've seen you participating in before events and all that stuff. So overall, your style is really good. I did mention that before, and a good fact was that you started with the meaning. Jaikrit, I saw that Jaikrit immediately went into the topic. So explaining the meaning of the motion is a good thing. Second, when you guys were discussing, you did say you didn't know much about the sport, but it's fine since you guys are exploring new motions, so it's completely all right. Overall, the style is good, and also you were making up questions and explaining the questions yourself. That was also a good thing. Also, the pointers were nice. But with the content part, I guess there wasn't much related to other sports because you guys were speaking about football in general. So I guess you guys can improve on that part. For Jaikrit, as I stated, the you didn't mention about the meaning. So I guess if you start with the meaning, that would be a good thing. So the audience would understand what you guys are talking about. Second of all, in pointers, you mainly spoke about corruption part. There wasn't much pointers. So I guess with the content, you can research more. And also, you did have very much knowledge into the football part, so it was great. But since the motion was about major sports in general and not for football, so for both of you, you can improve on that thing. Also, uh, formation of the your speech. Niyat, if you had noticed, Niyati was speaking pointers and then explaining the pointers. So I guess you could use the same method, or you can just ask other members of the team debaters. You can keep your questions, your doubts, and they will be much more happy to help you. Even Niyati, she can guide you in some points, and you can also guide Niyati in some points, whatever you guys feel. And cross questioning part was really good. That was a great thing. You Niyati had good questions, you had good answers. That was nice. Also for Jaikrit, I wanted to say that you did say good answers, but uh, you were quite not sure what you were explaining about, because on the last part when Niyati asked about the corruption thing, whether VAR is corrupted or the people using are corrupted. So I guess you did get a little flicked on that point. So I guess when you are answering a question, you can be sure of what you are saying. But overall, you were really confident in giving answers to the question. So that was a plus point for you. Overall, for the verdict, since Niyati's style and everything was much more better in terms of Jaipreet's speech, I will go with Niyati. And for the motion is what will be winning for this debate. Overall, it was a really great and fun debate since you guys were really interacting with each other, and that's a good thing when the participants are really getting into the motion, talking with each other. The cross questioning part was the star of this whole debate, I would say.
Okay.
So that was it from my side. If you guys have any opinions for each other or